An dasca pajal Cuyunan ag mulach an SWPL hun a Glasgow City a Dolonau Rangers Bioshaw a Petershill Park on the Glasgow Bioshaw is BBC Alapa. Hello, Argent Falchero Gur Game Park Kosher Bioshaw is BBC Alapa agus 3 Boingen Kutramach Luachver the Ainga Shaw ag Petershill Park on the Glasgow is Eiche Cad Dia is Sullier a Shaw on Savallavod agus Toliche ra them Huve Draste ha Rachel Boyle. Rachel, thank you for joining us here on BBC Alapa. These two sides are unbeaten so far this season and their first meeting of the season so far. Just how big a game is this?
Yeah, it's absolutely huge today. It's one I'm really looking forward to. I think we've waited a long time to see these two teams go up against each other this season, so it's going to make for an exciting game.
And these two sides, and you have to include Celtic as well, they don't tend to drop points against any other side in the league, so you can't lose in these games because it's very difficult to claw the points back.
Yeah, I think both sets of players will be well aware of that. It's fine margins in games like these. They know that if they drop points in this, then the league title then goes out of their hands. So, yeah, it's one that I'm really looking forward to, and I'm sure both sets of players will be ready for.
Let's have a look now at the league table, and both these sides are level on points, as we said, and Celtic won earlier today, so they've joined them on 27 points, leapfrogging Glasgow City into second, but it's a different game this season between these two sides. Rangers, the defending champions, and for the first time in many years, Glasgow City are now the challengers. Just which side, in your opinion, is under the most pressure here today?
Yeah, I think with roles being reversed, I think probably for me, Glasgow City, just purely for their history of winning the league titles. They obviously lost it last year to Rangers, so they'll be well aware that they need to win that back, and it starts here today.
Glasgow City beat Celtic here at Petershill Park the last time. We would hear 2-1 thanks to a Hayley Lauder winner in the last few minutes. But they then lost the next week against Hibernian in the semi-final of the Cup. If they win here today, they really need to back it up with a good performance the week after, don't they? Yeah,
I think for Glasgow City it's about building momentum now. I think with that win against Celtic and showing the character to get that last-minute goal really set them up nicely leading into the Cup game. But then they had a disappointing performance against Hibs and lost out. And yeah, for me, Eileen Gleeson's already saying that she needs to work rate to be better for Glasgow City, and there's no better game to prove it than against Rangers.
Who do you think in the Glasgow City team will be influential today and will be important for them if they are to go on to win the 3 points?
I think for this season, you're probably looking at Lauren Davidson. She's their top goal scorer, so she's really leading that line in attack, and I think her confidence is growing week in, week out with getting a run of games. So for me, you're probably looking at her as your goal threat. But all over the park for Glasgow City, you've got the experience of Hayley Lauder and Amy Muir-Jenna Clark at the back. So yeah, they've got a good, strong team today.
Hayley Lauder, you touched on her there as well. She's someone who's really, well, she's always been very steady, 7 out, 8 out of 10 every game for the last few seasons, but this season she's really stepped up to the mark, hasn't she? Yeah,
I think you know what you get with Hayley. She's got that calmness about her on the ball, and she really just slows everything down, but her quality of delivery is probably going to be quite key today. Whenever they get that set piece, they'll be looking at her to put it into a good area for the likes of Jenna Clark to go and attack.
You've looked at Chelsea Cornett. She's one you've picked out today. Why do you think she might be key today? She is the captain for today's game.
Yeah, for me, Chelsea's growing in stature, and I think you can see the value that she adds to the Rangers team. The fact that the coaching staff have trusted her to be the captain today in such a big occasion. I came through the ranks with her when she was younger, and you could see that she had the ability and the hunger and the desire, and now she's adding the quality to go with it.
This is an important period of the season as well for Rangers. They're playing Celtic on BBC Alpa next Saturday, and then a few weeks after that the Cup final against Hibs. So it's really important for them that they get off to a winning start in this run of games. Yeah, they'll know that coming off the back of the international break, they need to start building that momentum leading up towards that Cup final, and it starts today against Glasgow City. And this is going to be huge for the next few weeks. If they can get off to a good performance today, that'll set them up nicely for going into the Celtic game next week. I'm going to put you on the spot here, Rachel. What do you think we're going to see here today, and can I ask you for a prediction?
I think it'll probably start off quite cagey. If there is an early goal, then that'll really open the game up, which is what I'm hoping for. But for me, I'm going to sit on the fence and go for a draw.
Well, we'll see what happens. Thank you very much, Rachel. And we hear more from Rachel throughout the game in commentary as always. Agus inisha hashing inisht a dol and dolanul guarniach adish is on our game adu usjang machkalinang.
Tap leis le chéile agus sin na sealaigh a hacinn an park Petershill and an ceanna tú Glasgow a hat bhí ólach ar a scíre haid na terug gemir velach forsten nach gunje kudjach ha tuller vi aan de strijder la kijk maar her krunje gunne park du maar de doel zo'n daadskippe hek mullige li kan je laat bullig is een oosten is wat daude hier als schacht de wunik Celtic ik hart zag veel meer route in kelige zo ik paard Peters Hill dugen heil skippe schach skippe is een lang kemich in league gluchat gunne hier zo en die baan zijn Catholic City is jachach da hul, ach Catholic Rangers Kinjestui. En daar skippen we zijn drie leeklas le Celtic is schach puing harichet ik molach a league. Nee, is die zin. En je zijn paalebades die hoe je kan weer gooien. Ga ik nog dat er zo zo hier te kunnen is daar van ik natuurlijk die game toon jaar. Discussion is vliegt een kiloor aan de heel loges de bal. Ze voor de bal gaan de lien. Kijk naar heel kussere weer extra is een keer in de weekend. Runner show. Daar kun je het daar is. Ze blijven een show runner show. Kun je Rangers 3 gehoen als garants wat nog een Johnny is een geetje. Is een skipje die daar kun je aan de park. Is een oorsen. En senators kan hem een skipje in echt in Glasgow City. Eiling Gleason de goede Gibson is een heel kerre de gevoel. Is skipper hele loda. Maar aan de henne is een rooike goes en le mij dat voelt en SWPL ik kerre dat zijn ik gevoel. Is secondary Davidson Whelan is Chinchilla. Wie skillen is echt zich geloof woordje. En we kien je geloof jedig Allah. Rangers wel had laatje de gevoel aan hen McLaughlin Davidson Martinez is Nolf middag is Cornet skipper het u is Evian Hey Kerr is Danielson le McCoy is een line is maar hoors met Chelsea Cornet die is skipper. Zijn de bingen kemal laatje de daar wijn kun je toch een barak gooien en ik Malky Thompson. Voor Edwards dus skipper Rangers ach Nicky Doherty aan de hen en jullie zag in Nicky shot die dat gezond naar jullie vlieg en ga hier erbij toch een heel goed in de game de Celtic en dan ja in de rechter hakken you Ross Birrell zijn real locution is again about Regan Wallace still daar skipper Jason Lohut Napoleon Mayere must torch games. Call the rooms and Eshta Rachel Boyle in Suez when the Spirits Rachel it's a better afternoon than it was maybe a couple of hours ago. That could have a bearing on the game because if it stays like this, it'll be a good game.
Yeah, I think so. I think the conditions are absolutely perfect. Might be on a little bit on the cold side, but once they get going, they'll certainly not feel it. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this one today.
You didn't get a notion while you were wandering around there why Nicky Doherty's not playing?
Yeah, I spoke to her before the game and she says she's just feeling a bit under the weather yesterday, so they've decided to put her on the bench, but I'm sure she'll have a part to play today.
Well, he's in. Let's skip in. Jason is Jonas of right. Then William Hooligan is hier het jikken in de game. Hij is hier goed naar kijken in de dag in orange. Glasgow City is Rangers on the gal and you gleich van de live glee. Is die dat er Suler maar had er een goede maag. Karel en je visserers en wijn Pullach. Kerstig aan zich hiermee. Maar ik ga ook zien. Ik tas op groen. Dus ik heb eentje nog die dat maar ik Cornet. Er is Loder in de gele aan de parken. Er is een jongens ik Jenna Clark gevoel is of has en she is er een nimmel. Hier de jongens ik City stag. Dat hij mag iets. Dat waar Connor staan. En je varken van game aan naar een schöne shot uit de heat in de corner rash. Wij game het alles wij voor wij rachtbach zijn eerste fisker boek alle jakken goed big voorig ja fattige blaai keuzen hier is er een nimmel Rangers City Kusavachke. So Hannah Davidson on the hen. Yes, this is you the used to the 50 Rangers at Hosha. SWPL on the hen. Tessel Middag. Brogan Higa Steel and Mach and do will it. Oh, it's Jack in the box. Could you heal as you can't throw him against two like. Oh, come on, Jack Shitkin and Leon. Rachel Boyle. That had to go in. Had to go in.
Yeah, it had to. I don't know how she's managed to find herself all alone in the middle of the box, and I think Lee Gibson's made a terrific save there to keep her team in the game here.
Well worked move though. You can see Rangers have had the bulk of the possession. They're looking quite cool, calm and collected, but that really was maybe just too early in the game, really.
Yeah, I think so. I think Brogan Hill will be a bit disappointed. I think she's had a fantastic week, obviously getting her first international cap with the national team. So to find herself in that position, I would have probably put my house on her to score the goal, but it's not to be, and Glasgow City keep it 0-0.
Don't worry, your house is safe. Gaan City Caramanela maar zijn haar shachet. Rangers die dat het Ash Martinez. Gestuurde Ash wie pikken maul. Geen je mag. Zo zijn het als de vorm te City loader. Die dat het silent pikken. Malky Thompson here's forward. De keer hier Rangers bal gewoon het een skippelte mag van de wijne koel. Klaas het gelorok van de hoen studie van de koel. Maar het voeten zie je de bialf. It's an early morning there for City, though, that they can't sit back. They've certainly been willing to move the ball, particularly on the far side. But Rangers look up for this, but they're not rushing at it at all. They're being quite patient.
Yeah, I think that's Rangers' style of play throughout the whole season. They like to move the ball and spread teams side to side, and as soon as that gap opens up, that's when they pounce. So I think more of that will happen throughout the afternoon, and Glasgow City will need to be well aware of the attacking threat that Rangers pose.
You send a chain drop open here, ball a big stack in the box. How much of a lift do you think it's given Brogan Hay to break through into the international squad now?
I think it's huge. It'll grow her confidence more and more, and believe that that's the sort of stage that she needs to be performing at week in, week out, and it'll only make her more hungry to get that opportunity again. So she needs to keep performing at club level to catch the eye of the national team managers, and I'm sure she'll continue to do that.
I was listening to Malky Thompson on a video clip he published this week, and he was kind of playing it down that you know, we're only 9 games into the season. It's not a season-defining moment as such, but you won't want to lose this.
No, it's certainly not going to define the season for either team, but it certainly gives them the confidence to go on and perform for the rest of the season, and know that they've got that pressure slightly off them, in a sense, where they've got that win under their belt going into the other games head-to-head with each other. So yeah, although he's maybe playing it down, that's maybe to try and take the pressure off his own players, but he'll certainly internally be wanting to win this game today.
Spizachke. Maar volgens mij Spizachke, maar de Hageley Celtic is hard. Ik wil het next maar ruur. 3 skip hier net nog gelijk. Naast Fashkere we shachet, kita kutiko en lekker shorst hoorste dan nog zo en je left Fashkere kan hier zo in deze. So is dat City pulje van Ocean en der Clarke Hossuas. Die de geval Megan Foley is er aan. Is Amy Muir. Die de kennis, maar dat voeten Rutweg Toen kutje Stachla van Ocean. Stachri is gonna be aan hartstikke Rangers. Corem show. Oh, Stachri is hoor is zo again. Poor Victoria Essen laver a shit. But you could just see that coming as the ball just sat up nicely for her, but she got a good hand on it.
Yeah, you can see Maddie Fulton lining it up. It's a long way down, and it's a great layoff from Kozak there, and there's nobody else in Glasgow City that you'd want on the edge of the box taking that strike than Maddie Fulton.
Stacha die eerst Essen om de donderst om de niekin. Dan gaat er al Shachet. Well, encouraging for City.
Yeah, you can see that that's where Glasgow City's threat's going to come from. Hayley Lauder's got fantastic delivery, and with the height of Jenna Clark and Claire Walsh at the back, they're going to get up and win the headers, and it's just about whether Glasgow City can react to the knockdowns, and Rangers have got away with one there.
Carmen, gedag yang maha. The City die dat er pio gegenester krijgen had er het in opdracht in de game, zullen we? Het wordt big mau touch of krijg. Daar get alle steken kroei. Die dag kan voor de rest gesnokken Lee Gibson. De Wallenest die is Fulton kan voor het al af. She's just taking a look at the sides as they line up together there. The Myrat Fulton's diminutive figure in the middle of the field against some of the bigger Rangers players, but she more than punches her weight or her height anyway.
Yeah, it'll certainly not phase her. Being quite small myself, I know that you come up against a fair few taller players. But then on the flip side, they've got Jenna Clark at the back, who is coming up against Kayla McCoy, and yeah, it evens itself out across the pitch. But in set pieces like this, Rangers will need to be well aware of the attacking threat that Glasgow City have got.
City Chien Irashkin again, Hayley Lauder Irval. Isaac in Chama, so good as he stay. Clark is stay if she's asked to the far. Daar we tussen die helemaal de boxes. Ja, genoeg. Lucas Femi Rangers wie 5 gelach. Je kunt de kijken in die eerst. Maar dat had geen mag Fulton. Dus wel, han ik eens aan de mag geskippeld. Die groot bij gelukkig Rangers is alleen een cool. Maar hadden we school goed, zoals een jaar en echt. Klaar, kun je eerst iets in de stijl. Fulton. Kon je get mag en de willen. Rangers defense back four there, looking a wee bit sugly, if I can put it that way, a couple of times. As the excellent delivery, of course, from Hayley Lauder makes it difficult anyway, but not quite as composed as they really should be.
Yeah, I think you can see from the quality of the delivery that Hayley Lauder's got. The Glasgow City have obviously worked on that over the break, and they know that that's going to be a huge option for them in terms of getting something from this game. But as you say, Rangers are looking a little bit nervy at the back. I don't know if that's because of the size of the occasion that this game is, but I'm sure they'll come into their own and settle down as the game wears on.
You think they've got half an eye on the Celtic game, particularly after the result today? Or can they isolate that?
I think as players they have to be focused on this game and this game only, and I'm sure the coaching staff will be well aware that they need to make sure that they take care of this one first before they can look ahead. And I think from the opening first 10 minutes, I think you can see the attitude that they've got, that they want to get the ball down and get at Glasgow City. So for me, I think they'll be solely focused on today before they even consider the derby next week.
Bulje is a Vian. Shit. Maar het merken we de Hyundai Hupron het al is nou zo'n wanneer een nieuw zien we zo hè. Die dan de goede eigenlijk met een stem en shit. Ik kers klaar. Maar leeg wielen. Hier gaan die Hanal haar in de eerste. Zeg het 6 minuten. De eerste, maar de goede zin is Wel, corau mae gyda iawn, Lewis, as you know, as gyda Nioni. Dus aan de kemik in iedere dag skippen er wie gofas nog zijn de les wie naar junig aan de dooi. Tul traas again, maar is goed voorschool get koers in de maag pikken. Toy die eerste skiel gesteken eenmaal of okse. Maar de hoekie schier ze bal zit zijn broken hier skiel liggen de daar hoef. Als je keer de duif je gewoon, bij neste de allemaal gaan de duif glie. Oh, slag geschiet. Terugval en is het Rangers are goed aan de goal als Hannah Davidson. Like I said, here to go the maach. Well, there's a good example of some nervy play that a player of Hannah Davidson's experience really under no pressure.
Yeah, she's under no pressure there, and you can see that it's just maybe a little bit of nerves are creeping into the Rangers backline. I think they'll be able to deal with the situation, but it gives Glasgow City a little bit of momentum and it gets them further up the pitch. And yeah, I think Malky Mackay will be looking to, Malky Thompson, sorry, will be looking to really knock that out of Rangers at the back and give Glasgow City no further impetus in this game.
Well, if Malky Mackay's going to fix it, we've got a real challenge in our hands. Here's Karkafakach Davidson. Voor één PNS, dat gaat hartstikke goed goed. Zit dit jaar nog een jaar, die is smaak gekomen leer. Dan gaan je zijn balen gaan, we zag viermaal. Keter Malky Thompson hier is zo hij. Starig keer weer een hele koers dit is maar aan City kan goed voor Impie. Ik kan wel een cool. No, ball allemaal. That's the second one over the roof.
I'm worried about my car over there.
Well, mine's down there. I'll share one each. Caravella to City. Rangers a pruwe door de Torneshaar. Daar de paal, tucht hem kan je in je orange goede toerist. Je vale stijf op voeten. En je mal. Wacht je hier aan een voorrang dat je hem gediest en je laat geen er van af Rangers. City het ook al game. De Farag kan willen roeige game maken. Karst we the Fulton. Well, I did say. It's an easy decision for the referee, but
yeah, there's no malice in it. But
you
Maddie,
could see what
she's fully aware of what she's
do,
doing there. Yeah, I think it's probably a good foul to take because Rangers would get forward very quickly after that scenario. But it's another transition that Glasgow City will need to be aware of.
And hier het in de game. Ik zie dat er Harseloorag. Nioni, maar de hoors mee. Wie mij uit Fulton wie. Het big fight gelachen is. Like Mars, it's kind of a measure of City's pushing forward that she committed that foul 2/3 of the field up. I mean, she's normally, where she's sitting in front of the back four.
Yeah, I think that's evident of the game plan for Glasgow City. They're really trying to high press in this game and get in the face of Rangers and not allow them to play. So I think you can see that by the fact that they were so far up the pitch and they've left the gap in behind Maddie Fulton that she's had to maybe break that play up. I'm sure Eileen Gleeson will not be wanting those sort of occasions to arise too often this afternoon.
Broken heen is. Proef de eerste keer. Ranula. City go mal. Is er ook zijn eerste voor het tunje vegen weer. Het vatte doorst geloof. Je zegt je er al het je de geschoelde steek wel die Gibson goprik. I lag gedien. Ja hier. Het werken we gemoeg Rangers stay aan de hand. Sanil. Kunnen hier dus ook heel aan elkaar fan. Fase bier de bal. Loda. Tony Lorakabui. Dat die vuur in de klopt er een hele. Maar de leme balen zit het er scherm de Rangers vlakker. Good organised system City have though. They're maintaining their shape at the back, not panicking. They certainly look more solid in defence right now than Rangers do when they're under pressure at the back.
Yeah, and I think that's how they've worked on it in training. They'll know that they don't want to break the lines and get beaten too easily, so they're working as a unit and shifting across and trying not to open up the goal.
Merach kwamen ze voorzichtig doel.
Again, another nervy moment for Rangers at the back there, isn't it? This time from the goalkeeper.
I just had a feeling, I didn't want to cut across you, but when that ball went back, it looked woefully short. But she was caught between two minds, I think.
Yeah, I think she was just completely indecisive. Sometimes in those scenarios, you just need to put your foot through the ball and take the pressure right off. And Glasgow City have been really unlucky there.
Zijn skipper ik zal aan Noag is Haveli Penas as a game met Jurg. Nekroshenko kust femi aan de hit toekies. Smieke toekies zoel voor de bal. Zo vloog het er relatief in de stijger. Yes, Thomas en City. Ach, een balletje in de stij. Oh, die Rudbeck Tra, Lauren Davidson. She just kind of overran that one, Rachel, really. She was arrived a bit early, perhaps.
Yeah, I think it's just the timing of it all. You can hear the shouts from the Rangers sideline saying that they don't want Priscilla Chinchilla cutting in on the inside, so they're trying to force them down the outside, and that leads to crosses. So I think if it's coming in from one side, Eileen Gleeson's telling her players at the back post to get in, and that's what Lauren's tried to do, and unfortunately it hasn't came off this time.
Hey, Coram Ruyen is de stad. Staat op de dat ze wat en like la school. Dus je wel niet dit. Dat die eerste skip lag. Oh, heel lekker. Het is een coole drama aan de hit voor Davidson. Ik heb nog gerecht de Carl. Emily Whelan as all she is. I think Hannah Davidson got away with one in midfield there.
Yeah, I think so. It was a bit blatant, wasn't it?
Wasn't even a nudge, nowhere near a nudge.
Yeah, you can hear the Glasgow City bench going mental for that one, and rightly so. Yep, straight in the back. Don't know how the referees missed that one.
Goodness, Davidson. The cameras of Davidson the draft. Which we could farken. Yeah, I think they're targeting Davidson now.
Yeah, I think so. You can see that
she's not having her best game and they're stretching her.
Yeah, she's been a little bit shaky in the start of this game. I don't know if it's nerves or coming off the back of the international break, and she just needs to get that momentum back into playing. But for me, Glasgow City have started this game really well. You can see they've completely changed the way they're playing from a couple of weeks ago when they got that defeat against Hibs. Just at the back post.
Jawel, sta je die eerst. Ach, het dure shot. Rangers, ciao, het doet het er van Pulag, hè. Jawel, was het. Go eenmaal de box de duur willen. Zat ik een goeie maag. Dus dat is in de korte die Malky Thompson hier is voor, maar gaan Jillison en je roet geluk gegaan. Die voor klik te haaien, maar het gelukkig. Tjoen de garage. Toen die is City het trokken nog willen paal hoor. Lauder. Rashid. Nog Rashid de Gersko. Wak. William Marco. Drogan Hayes. Djurval steek goed je. En je tun je vast. Gerard Korm shot de Rangers. En je ziet die eerste de koers. Goede kaal Hafker de Bialov. City. Dian en Thuil. Next Rangers. Begint de game dan gas in de draaste. Schalman had het Chile. City het tume gemaakt. Eerst hier. Gutje wil maar zijn die tume. En Lish to be a Rangers Chile. Had het al een duur jaar. Nesta Farsenjak. You get the feeling Rangers running out of ideas even at this stage?
I think they're trying to work the ball and they're moving Glasgow City and making them work hard in defence. I think Glasgow City are obviously trying to do the high press, but when they can't win the ball back quickly, they just sit back into that block and make it difficult for Rangers. And it's shown. The more frustration they can get out of Rangers, then the more likely they are to get something out of this game today.
Do you think they're overworking it? It's maybe just too elaborate, and they're certainly very keen to go backwards to take a step forward, maybe over keen.
Yeah, I think at times they maybe are, but they're certainly loading the wide areas and trying to get down the outsides, and they've had a couple of good crosses into the box. I'd maybe like to see Kayla McCoy plant herself in the middle of that 6-yard box and play off the crosses. She's maybe just finding herself a bit too far out from goal to cause them problems at the moment.
Oh, die is... Wacht, maar die... Die is kan goed heen om een goal naast. Hey, goal here daar. Hey, it's contagious. That was a very, very iffy moment at the back for Rangers again there.
Yeah, it's the same at both ends there, isn't it? A couple of back passes and the keepers are a bit indecisive of what to do. I think in Glasgow City's case, I think Claire Walsh's pass back has maybe been a bit soft, and Lee's found herself under pressure when she doesn't need to be. So they'll need to be well aware of that both teams are willing to go and press the goalkeeper.
City next to Frishu gemaakt. Parach vliegt er in de Rangers het goede hoes door de shot. Dat hij die eerst had er een bruw gemaakt. De bal gauw. Kooit met het ficht. Glasgow City Njoni. Rangers Njoni. Dat floor daar in de kloon is het. Haar in je hand uitstoken. Die had hier het al zeer van zijn. Wel, could you not look at the City men of Tachirika? And the discs be a roll of size on the Gushin. Next Lauder at Shears. Now, I noticed Hayley Lauder had gone down on one knee just about 30 seconds before then. And she, I don't know, she seems to have taken a knock.
Yeah, she's not the type of player to go down unless there's something wrong either. And it's certainly not a player that Glasgow City will be wanting to lose in a game like this. She's very influential in the middle of the park, but it looks like they're going to have to make a change. But I'm sure the players on the bench, Paredes, I think it is, that's going to be coming on. She'll be well prepared and know what her role is in the squad, and she'll have to come on and do a job for her team.
Didn't see, I think she might have had a tackle early on that might have affected her and just didn't, she wasn't able to run it off. But certainly the indication here is the flag has indicated that Paredes is coming on.
Yeah, I think they'll also be well aware that this game doesn't define their season either, so they'll know that they're not wanting to take any chances with Hayley. Whether she's able to try and run it off and carry on, we'll wait and see.
It takes a bit more than that, maybe.
Yeah, but you never want to see any player go off injured, especially in games like this. So hopefully she's able to run it off and carry on.
If you just watch her here on the right-hand side of the screen, she just goes down. That's whatever happened before that even, but she was just caught my eye at the time and I thought, there's something wrong.
Yeah, she's certainly not thanking Megan Foley for taking the throw in when she's trying to take a seat on the pitch and get some attention from the medical staff, so I'm sure she'll mention that to her once the game's over and done with.
Hayley Lauder Ashak in the nest. City, die het PL gekomen is. Kijk eens daar, aan de Rangers Lucala Chitinianev. Worth a pop, you could see it opened up in front of her.
Yeah, I think that's the confidence that Lauren Davison's got. There's only one thought of her mind, and it's how quickly she can get a shot off. She's got the capabilities from there, but she's obviously just leaning too far back. But it's positive from her.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier too, Rangers can't afford to let Chinchilla cut in like that because it's drawing players away from the others all the time.
Yeah, I think they've obviously recognised that in their analysis of Glasgow City, and Chinchilla's very good at going both directions, so they'll try to nullify her coming in on her strong foot on the right-hand side and being able to link the play with the centre midfielders who are attacking and coming forward. But I think Rachel McLaughlin's done a good job on her so far. She's forcing her down the outside and trying to frustrate her as best she can.
Duval. Goal in. Between the two in the ball, the Tolka Rangers. Thought this might have gone the other way actually, but
to me it looked shoulder to shoulder, whether they've tangled legs.
Was it really?
Yeah, it's two strong players. I think I would have probably let the game go on, but not to be.
Kijk daar scoor, je herslier maar haas in de torsuler. Daar is wel komende bal kosten een baan. If je niet parach vodelijk gehaald wie naar Reiteren naar Nofiki, kies je nog heel erg vodel nog real geduw. Het is geen maar zo. We zijn had de lollar tilligtij. Lees in het spoors ille de kamers in de podden geen. Nest. Weer afgezien. Purini. Ziet de haar in la. I think she could have gone on from there just to get a bit closer.
I don't know if she could have maybe just carried on a little bit and made Jenna Clark make a decision whether she takes it out or lets her go. But it's good pressure from Sam. It's what she does really well. She gets right up the back of people and nicks the ball and gets her team on the front foot.
You can see just below us here, Marky Thompson, he's actually forcing his players forward to do more of the pressing.
Yeah, I think you can see that that's the game plan that Glasgow City are approaching. He wants his players to be more on the front foot and start to do the same back to them and really start to build momentum and get further up the pitch. But for me, they're still looking a little bit shaky at the back, and Glasgow City are trying to get on the front foot.
Je hoort Shaffer ten Esch, Njoni haast. Dat gaat over de zakken. Dat is een tolle in tool. De kinderen was weer game, maar gestoken. Fuse liggen slier, Rangers het de doorsdag. En je laat de veen vliegt er in het jaar stegen naar boksen. Met de hikke bal, schach en je kiela McCoy oorsdag jaar. Zijn je 30 jaar is wel, wanneer je bal, als je het kroe is gorst, dat is de verhaal. De hele rechter de kusje. Well, okay, stay good crew. No quarter given or none asked here, for sure.
Yeah, knowing Chelsea Cornet quite well, I knew she was never going to pull out of that one. I think she certainly won the ball, whether it's her momentum of her follow through that's carried her through and took the player out. But yeah, it's one of those games, isn't it, where you can't afford to be pulling out of tackles.
Stechla the eerst Joe is a box. Is er in de Shar. Barach ligt er in de steek. Caramelle. Ooh. Yeah, to be 5 goal in the Laven. Well, that's one of these tricky ones. You know, when a shot like that comes in these days, you have to be very careful where your hands are.
Yeah, she was very brave there.
About.
I don't think there was any doubt in anybody's mind that she's just took that one right in the chest. It's brave from her. I've seen people throw their hands up. I've probably done it myself a few times.
Or turn your back.
Yeah, but it's good pressure from Rangers. They're getting numbers in the box, and that's exactly where I want to see Kayla McCoy in the middle of that 6-yard box,
They need more numbers in there.
Causing problems.
Yes, Rangers. I think Barach in the Val the East. Rogan Hay. Hier voelig het zo is. Kurkuser. He just needs a bit of work on the execution. There's a couple of balls she's overhit, and maybe she could just carry a bit more and then deliver.
Yeah, she's certainly got the pace to carry it. I'd like to see her take her first touch in the way so that she's bearing down on goal, because she's got the pace to get beyond her defenders. Because in that instance there was only actually one Rangers player in the box to aim for, and unfortunately she's overhit it.
Nu Reflectic City ernaast is alleen een kuur Jenna Clark voor EMP. Nog nog voor overaan. Nästa klara machte de eerste. Donnie Kutjekin, Jason lekker goed. City had de Koeman ligt er in de waardig maar gegeven. Geeft McLaughlin 2 sheet. Now, here's a chance. The Cavalry are coming for this one, for sure.
Yeah, I was just watching Hayley Lauder there. She seems to have run off that earlier injury, so that's good news for Glasgow City if she can continue on in this game. But yeah, it's a good opportunity for Rangers to get the ball in the box and get numbers forward.
Well, no, Shan. Shahid er bullet in je wijn, dan is het door linie orange zo gerechit. En dan wijst de nieuwe Varel. City dorstig gemaakt, die is die op kindje gegeven Rangers Chile. Hun gaan we naar vaar kunnen gaan lezen die is een Rutbik Mauler de kassen. En is dat Torlintje Gallen Jonas. Drogen hees kuiltje moet je shot laat heen. Dan is het change de bal. Er waren door de shot vlog maar hele. That was a better ball, much better ball, and there was somebody waiting for it.
Yeah, as you can see, there's numbers in the box, and Brogan Hayes done really well to get past her player and fires in a great ball and picks out, is that North in there, who's carried her run forward.
Claire Walsh went down first.
Yeah, but it's a fantastic block. Yeah. I think that's a definite goal if she's not there, so she's done really well there to cover across.
But the difference was what you were saying, beat the player in front of her first before she takes a look to see where she's putting it.
Yeah, as I say, with the pace that she's got time to go beyond her player and then lift her head and find out where she can go from there. But they're certainly, Rangers are trying to feed her the ball.
Oh. Well, and we can just the route of corner to view, and do you think this is what she was trying from there?
Yeah, I think so. I think she's maybe, unless she's trying to chip it in, I'm going to give her the credit that she's going for goal rather than trying to just lift it into an area for Kayla McCoy. But Chelsea's been getting herself involved with a few goals of late, so sure, her confidence is certainly high, and yeah, I'm going to give her the credit that she's going to be going for goal there.
McCoy, Laheen, Sivian. Het is heel sterk in de game. Parach, kies het al hoor. Ja, doen het te door is hoor. Lachlan. En zag de regeert gelukkig daar. Paal naar Sharach, het eerst. McCoy is een 80 jaar. Beetje mee aan de paardje. Fulton, Kale Gorm, maar goed. Schachter, goed toen je mij hoor. Tune de Rangers, die zijn er terug vlooien, want Schachter hem ook ze de eerst. Dient je orange geleden zo. Gaat maken wie kloos het zo is en dan ga ik. Jarige stij. En wel woksen. Karamelle. Kuskafek. Is Maul and Orson. Transition's good. They go from defence to attack in a very, very quick order.
Yeah, I think it's night and day from the performance that they had against Hibs a couple of weeks ago. You can see the intensity they're playing at. It's just whether or not they can continue that for the full 90 minutes today. But they've certainly done themselves no harm in this first half, and I think for them it's about continuing that throughout and making sure that they keep it tight at the back but also get numbers forward to cause Rangers problems at the back.
Unie Kiljoran, zo'n tol in haast.
Good, well done. Just force it out.
De eerst. En je laat geen mag, maar de Hakoda geschonken had de doorstaan. Loader. Here they come again. It's like the charge of the light brigade at both ends when they get up there. They just pour resources forward.
Yeah, and rightly so. It's a great opportunity. They know they've got quality coming into the box, and it's about whether they can get on the end of it.
Dylan Love. Shitvo Victoria Essen. En je kien je gevangen hier vallen weg. You know, if you just arrived at this game and had watched 5-10 minutes, you would say these are two teams that are very evenly matched. They must be near the top of the league. It doesn't.
Yeah, I think the teams speak for
themselves. To say that's what it is.
Yeah, there's certainly not much between the teams, and both sets of players know that. It's the smallest margins can make the difference in this game, whether it be a slip or a fall or anything can lose them the game. But rightly so, one moment of quality can certainly get your team the 3 points. So it's fine margins and it's very evenly matched, but it's been an exciting first half so far, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the game.
Here she is the line, yep. En het Claire Walsh nu geskippeld up. Zo'n Jelike Risch is een game. Ver nog door zijn tol haast. Ja, hier bij ma. Hier bij vastbeschof. Garmen denk ik daar gaan. Hier het garm. De vroegen hier. Ja, dat is orrekenier als je nog door die. En nu is het duur kennen voor Rangers in de Chandra Jerige game. Well, Caramel at the Rangers. Bonoshan. Chinchilla Dolstay. Gunnefusht. Jenefusht. Rangers are the Hula Tunja Hursuas. Afanya North. Maar die Nolf is er weer aan. Kun je snel briest. Zit hier van aan. Oh, zo wel stay. Good chance. Has to go down as a chance.
Yeah, she's looking a bit frustrated with herself there. I think she was maybe on the way down when she got connection with that header, but it's right into the middle of the area. It's a perfect ball in, and unfortunately she's not been able to guide it on target.
She was skipped to the cassin. Only he caught him in the line play. Garrigus stay. The used to do it. Don't shall have to lean to orange on the hand snores and Haley Lauder. Last year fell out is right to Taryn Rangers the sheet. Senators Corham, the city, and the stall of the hook. Lauder. Miss Cormac Rangers. Dwari Pula gan nosane. Chinchilla. Meyerig hau gyda dyma che. Aber gyda galafiag. Galoch bysyd. Sam Kerr. Nadien ag barach gan y sien stofa. Jack o hi. Dwri eich. Liefwilier. Yeah, that was a tremendous run by Sam Kerr. If Rangers could use her a bit more behind Hay like that, there would be a very, very strong threat on this side of the pitch.
Yeah, that's what Sam Kerr is really good at. She's a great ball carrier and she gets the team up the park, and her work rate is phenomenal every game. You know what you're going to get with her. But yeah, all the Rangers' attacks seem to be more coming down the right-hand side. I don't know if it's something that they've maybe worked on, but as soon as they get the ball, they're looking to feed, whether it be Brogan Hay or Rachel McLaughlin. They're certainly looking to come out this side and pose a threat down this right-hand side.
Do you think they've both settled for where they are, or do you think Rangers maybe have the better of the chances and that Malachy Thompson will be a bit more disappointed than Eileen Gleeson?
Yeah, I think maybe on current form, I think... Yeah, you're just never sure when it goes up there. But yeah, I think on current form, I think maybe Rangers will be wanting to make sure that they can come away from here with a positive result. But certainly how this game's played out so far, I think it's very evenly matched, and it's looking like they're both going to go in at the break.
Is there much Rangers can change to get through this? Maybe get upfield quicker? Or?
Yeah, I think they can probably be a bit more direct, where they can maybe start taking some strikes at goal and make Glasgow City maybe step off them a little bit, because right now Glasgow City are playing a high press and getting up close and tight. But Rangers have got their bench that they can turn to if things aren't going well in the second half. They can certainly use the quality that they've got on the bench to come on and change things for them if need be.
Nes y funud 2-0, munud y chai fwlach o'r game, les y cerib offigar, Regan Wallace. Chinchilla, McLaughlin, Shesevich, Ikitas, Norson, Marasavich, Fulton, Gaskuil, Kairvi, Sonich, Gianna Line Hool, is on Norson, the Piprahu, the Line Oyachgaheen. Joe was a cheers to do a howl, it's a big into the rock, it's this howl, the Shens, Jack and the ball! Well, good to shoot it, here we go, Vatsabi. That could have gone anywhere.
Yeah, I think she's relieved that it's went over the back of her bar. But it's great play from Glasgow City. I think it's the first time that they've really worked the ball and in a while, where they've strung a few passes together and they've moved Rangers about and they've got in behind them and got themselves a corner.
De sattele hullet in je soos. Hij gaat maar af. Het is niet chicken meer hier is hier het lee. City. Wat het heel. Hier is gevoegde stij. Rangers varacht in de ene raas. Ach. Ross Perel chin koor grijp. Hij is staat voor erg. Broken he. Ik kan ook hier het garm makarire. Is garig shin orre. Give me eerst nog. Fulton, leis a chorra mishar, the City. Agus Cornet, the skipper, you. Agus, well, hata, Corman, Erwieke da gaun, ach, farachkin, tuusach Corey and Ornje, send it to a lakin, Glasgow City, Njoni, Rangers, Njoni.
Ach, bless the Oostjang agus Rachel Biasan Adash son Darnale Didach on the Kachjalt no Huadach. Ach, Shaw, Ike Peters Hill, Ike Leonia, hashing at all Hlinge begin projects do not immer to stocken. Have you the Barafol and the Haring gun game? Agus an owner son of it na Clicketa, no, not son of it na Vanager no Hoche, ach, son of it na Rachel smashing. Hushing Bacon, a Varafis, Mach me and project Ura Shaw.
Gyda ha bal caution yn bans yn arsingach y sir ffas yn nalopa. Yn adja hac ma gawn sy'n alaf dy fodden eich a geno operator. A program ŵr y fiechan di sy'n y chwyd ciarst.
So we've got a new partnership with S1 Jobs, and we also have a clear kind of gap in terms of referees and refereeing opportunities. So we thought we'd marry the two. We'd use a bit of the resource that we've got from our new partnership with S1 Jobs to try and take away some of the barriers that may inhibit women and girls opting to become a referee. So what we're planning to have is a funding in place for up to 50 female referees to come in to work with the referees department to provide female-only spaces, to provide courses, to provide mentoring, ongoing support, in the hope that what we can do is grow the number of female referees. That visibility is really important. We are hopeful that as more and more female referees take part in games, that other girls can see those as inspiring role models and want to take part in the game in that way. It's also really critical because as we seek to grow the game in terms of numbers of players on the pitch, we need the infrastructure around that to also grow so that we can facilitate and support those games. So at the moment there is a bit of a need for referees, and we're hopeful that this small injection of cash can help plug that gap and help grow our game.
By y program cwtioch y fiechan di taich gehorsto yn y reiter yn ŵr, tron driach gach gys y game.
I think as well the important thing is this is not just about an injection of cash at the start of the journey. We need to work with the referees department to work out how do we retain these referees, because we also understand that people can go through the courses, they can get the kit, but they might drop away from the game. So we need to work on retention, if that is about finding peer mentoring, peer-to-peer support, making sure that we also work with our clubs to ensure that the environment that these women may enter into is positive, because the clubs need to also understand, and our players, that without the referee the game wouldn't happen. So we need to make sure that people want to be referees and that they're welcomed into the game appropriately. Now, we know that football is a competitive, emotions can run high, but we also know that that can provide a bit of a barrier to people wanting to become a referee in the first place. So there's lots of things for us all to do collectively, and the partnership with S1 Jobs is helping to unlock that and helping us to work in partnership with colleagues across the football family to hopefully make a difference and build that infrastructure that's so necessary to help us grow our game.
Ha cwtien y bodden ich ha gien o operator an yn alopa yn draste y cwth falche i the program.
I think the last few years you can't help but notice that women's football's growing and growing. The Euros last summer have just really shown that it's just women's football is just massive. I think it's the biggest growing sport, certainly in the UK. So obviously, as much as the players are developing, along with that, then you need the infrastructure, and that includes the referees. And I think it's important that we have as many females as possible, especially doing the female football, but there is opportunity to go into the men's game as well if you desire.
Yeah, I think it's really important. Over the last few years, just the way women's football has gone has been massive. You know, the increased media attention, the increase in the amount of players, it's fantastic to see. I know back when I was younger, women's football wasn't something that you just automatically go into or consider. So it's great to see. We definitely need to increase the female referee side numbers as well. Just now it's lower numbers, so we need to increase that, and it's really important as well also to have people seeing it, because if you can't see it then you can't be it, so it's important to have those role models out there and get more numbers.
Stochen nach op een reachere hier door te vis kutjigen smeunje gegeven, nu de haat meestal het bal kosje. A gaan himmerstje nach Lorraine agus Vicky, het kost te doen kemoor ik show.
Well, I started playing football when I was at school a long time ago now, and there wasn't as many opportunities as there is now. Certainly when I went through the youth ranks, that was fine. There was a lot of clubs, or to be honest, I played with the boys most of the time, being the only or one of the few females in the team. However, as I got older, there wasn't so many ladies teams. So that has changed significantly, certainly in my time within the game. So when I came to the end of high school and was looking to move on to the next step, I decided at that stage that to travel for the games was really difficult. And my PE teacher actually said to me, "How about refereeing?" And I thought, oh, I'll go to the course and see how it goes. You know, what have I got to lose? And 20 years later, here I am.
So for me, my dad was a referee actually. He was a Category 1 referee, and that's kind of how I got involved. One day I went to school when I was 16, because that's the age you can do the course, and I said, oh, I could go and become a referee now. You know, I'm not a great player. I like watching football, but you know, I've never kind of got any decent level. And they kind of said, oh, but girls don't referee. And it was a while ago now. I don't think there'd be as much of that attitude now. But, you know, for me, it was going and proving that point. And I probably at the time didn't plan on sticking around, but I did my first game, did my second game, fell in love with it. You've got that front row seat. I've now gone to a level now that I would never have got to as a player. Genuinely, you know, I've been really lucky to travel. I'm a FIFA assistant referee now. I've been able to travel the world and referee in Champions League and take part in games that I would never ever have dreamed of as 16-year-old Vicky. So I think it's a completely different perspective, but I think it's one that people do forget about, but I think it's an important one that it should be highlighted, that the opportunities that are there.
Son een G-schachte, haar neuwels ma agus na boonach een persente had chien vo op een reachere, is na benen nach geaardiger aan een nimmig daai.
I think people think about referees and all they think about is people shouting at you and the abuse that comes with it. Now there is a little bit of that. It would be unfair for me to say that isn't. However, what people forget is all the positives that go alongside it. You've basically got the best seat in the house. You're there. You're right behind that goal that's been scored. It's not maybe the same feeling as playing and scoring that goal, but you're a massive part of that game. If you play the advantage that leads to the goal, you feel that you've made a difference and you've helped to make the game a little bit better, help the game flow a bit better. So there's a lot of friendships that come along with it, a lot of team building. You work with your assistants, your fourth officials. The benefits of the fitness, you still have to be as fit, if not fitter than some players, because you're basically a box-to-box runner. So there's so many benefits that far outweigh the negatives. The experiences, I've been fortunate enough that I'm a FIFA referee, so I get to travel all over Europe and beyond. So travelling to countries that I would never go to on holiday, and while I'm in these different countries, meeting different people, different nationalities, etc. And then along with that, it's experiencing football in different countries at different levels. It just really gives you a really good perspective of the game overall.
Like I say, I wasn't a great player, so I never kind of had that team aspect. I liked sports in general and I loved watching football, but for that opportunity for me, the friendships that I've made through refereeing and the kind of community that I've built, and also the skills that I've kind of learnt now as well, that maybe at the time didn't draw me so much, but the skills that I've built that I can take into like my day job and stuff have been really great. Just kind of general skills that I genuinely don't think I would probably be the person I am today without it. So confidence, I'm going out on a pitch and essentially leading a game, making sure everybody's safe and making sure, you know, the laws of the game are followed and everybody has a good time, hopefully, although, yeah. Team player, like people might also not think about that, but I'm genuinely not against either team. I'm there to be a team player. I want people to have a good day on a Saturday, Sunday, Friday, whatever day they're playing football. And then also with our team, as in we're a team of officials as well at the end of the day. So it's about that. So yeah, your leadership skills, your team building skills, your confidence, your quick decision skill making, having to think on your feet very quickly, what can I do, what's the situation, and then going through with that decision as well and being confident in that. And our fitness obviously is a big angle of that as well, and getting the right angle, funnily enough, and being in the right position to make those correct calls, hopefully. And don't get me wrong, we get decisions wrong. We know that. We're only human at the end of the day, but that's why I hope that the players that I referee will openly say that I'm a good communicator and that, you know, I want to speak to them, I want to explain a decision, I want to say why I've got to where I've got to, and it's a big part, yeah.
Sy hier dollamach, stochen a gil op a réitere a dríachas tarinniche a bí a lenting. A chalarein agus becín dochas gymbrostich an ewls achge, clanien agus bodanich, a ní jack a hokal.
I obviously had the trailblazers before me as well. Lorraine Watson, who you've interviewed today as well, she was kind of like one of my role models. Morag Pirrie, who's retired in the game now, but those for me were those role models. And if I can even offer a little bit of my career that inspires somebody else, then I would be delighted at that, because I do genuinely think it's such an amazing career refereeing, to go and be a part, keep fit, learn things for life, and travel if that's what you're into as well. And the opportunities to go and do World Cups, Champions Leagues, I've been part of world record attempts as well, things like that. Unusual things that I would never have done if I didn't become a referee.
It's brilliant, and again, people only think about the negatives and maybe people shouting at the referee or reacting to a bad decision. That's only a really small part of it. Obviously it happens, but the big part of it is the friendships that you make over that 90 minutes. You turn up to a game and you might not even know the teams, you might not know any players at the beginning of that, and by the end of the 90 minutes, you hopefully have all 22 players coming and shaking your hand, thanking you for the game. Because at the end of the day, if there's no referee, there's no game.
Wel, Jenny, pars gan y Corman a fe hefyd boedd yn os y bi, yn gyfel yw I ffidio gyhwgal, no gol i'r leinia, ha Corman gyda'r anlas y lahawn an y fel cosio yn ban, clis mynd an y spors yn ban, an y nymyd o spors ile. Wel, ag Peters Hill Park an y hio, an y Glasgow, has yn gyntol, ach, ba Corman Macarir y bec, brogan hi, tra as y game, Rangers y chwyrdd hosioch. Rachel Boyle, this was a gilt-edged chance, and we said earlier we thought it maybe just came too early in the game for Brogan Hay.
Yeah, I think so. I think you can see the quality of the ball in from Danielson there, and she's took a good first touch, but it's allowed Amy Muir to recover and get Lee Gibson faced up and ready to make the save. And yeah, as you say, it's probably come too early, but for Brogan Hay, I don't think it's affected her in the rest of the game. I think she's continued to want the ball, and she's continuing to go at the Glasgow City defence and cause them problems, and she's putting some good balls across the box, and I would like to see Kayla McCoy and Danielson at the other side coming in and trying to meet them, because she's certainly causing Glasgow City a lot of problems.
That's probably the biggest reason we have a no-score game, in that Rangers haven't had the two front players up far enough, quickly enough, and yeah, interesting ploy going on here. I mean, somebody's going to be paying for this later tonight, I think.
Yes, their reactions, isn't it? But yeah, I think there's times where Rangers are getting bodies forward and they're maybe not delivering the ball, but then they are delivering the ball when there's nobody in the box. So I think it's about getting that balance. They obviously want to protect the back and make sure Glasgow City don't transition on them, but at the same time they need to be on the front foot and getting across their defender when that ball comes in the box. And for me, Kayla McCoy, she's got great stature about her, and she reads the game really well, where she can come across defenders and use her body to get on the end of things. So I would like to see that happen more often. But for Glasgow City, I think they've performed well in the first half, and it'll be about continuing that momentum.
And to be fair to City, they've created some chances. Their work rate has been fantastic. We've both kind of hinted at a question: can they keep this level of activity and diligence up and create these chances that maybe one of them will stick? Can they do that for the whole game?
I think they probably could. Glasgow City are renowned for going to the very end, and I think you've seen that when they scored in the last minute against Celtic, that they had those fitness levels to keep going and keep pushing, and they got their rewards in the end. So it looks like there's going to be a change here. Doesn't look like Hayley Lauder's managed to come back out for the second half, which is disappointing for them, but I'm sure Paredes will be ready to go.
Yeah, we did have a nagging doubt about her, that it was just her own determination that kept her on the field, but they'll miss Hayley Lauder, but Paredes will have to step up and do a similar kind of job.
Yeah,
so how do you see it panning out?
For me, I think Rangers have got room for improvement. I think Glasgow City are playing really well in terms of their work rate and their intensity. It's just whether they can match the quality when they get on the ball. But Rangers will certainly need to come at them more in the second half if they want to walk away with the full 3 points.
And a better bench, perhaps?
Yeah, I think strength and depth will show. I think I read it the other day that Malky Thompson was pleased with how many players he had on the training pitch yesterday. There doesn't seem to be that many injuries, bar Jane Ross perhaps, that's still out from the ACL. So they've got a lot of quality sitting on the bench there, and I'm sure they'll use it if need be.
City and an orange. Maha and nu nach rahu Paredes Giner and Nastja Hayley Lauder. There's Rangers and Gal. Gamas in pool up in the live Chlee. Yes, Dietrich Averisacking. Give you a doinach gan the squad. Rangers at Daval at a fark. Draaste. Howell. Is a boxer. Stjachla. Er staat Daval. Femi Reiter. Ruttigen in je nummers in. Dan Femi Klichter. Goddekena. Hij er een gietje genest. Net als ge uwaal. Zijn een goedje gegaan naar Gulletenjakken. Zo'n skipje in, maar het is een goede maag. Ik hier het gaat. Dus die dat vergis worden weer een goede tanje, maar de hoofdje kan zo naar Nick Doherty gepleegd. Ja, ik naar voor je varach in gemaakt je. Dus toch moet hij dat gedraaid de varach in gebied gekomen, maar van de schachten te zien. De rechtelijk is dat de nieuwe Celtic. Van Hughes er Hearts. Drie kun je niet, was maar geen duw. Een goed kajoen en ik mollige league. Colliery City Eagles Rangers. Schach Queen gericht. Die de gedieven de tuil echter McCoy. Gestelig and all. Fantastic ball across, but the snag there was. She should have been the one on the end of it.
Yeah, there's nobody in the box. She's doing all the work outside it, but that's where she needs her teammates coming in at the other side. She's done really well to turn Jenna Clark there and put in a great ball across the face, and Brogan Hay needs to react to that one better.
Wasn't far off being a good shot, actually. You know, if she had just turned it the other way. Smach ik Rangers in de Waal draaste. Tosje Krooi. Die Waal helemaal. Ik is een oorzaak stjaag. Hoe er is zo hoog, hoe kast er weer vanaf. Creative again from Rangers.
Yeah, there just seems to be a little bit more intent there. Sam Kerr driving with the ball like she did in the first half, and she's causing problems when she's running straight at the Glasgow City backline. But yeah, it's showing more positive signs for Rangers. They're certainly trying to go a bit more direct and have a bit more intent about their play.
Kiri Val Humar. Just realised there in passing that I haven't really mentioned Danielson at all, hardly at all, and she's one of the biggest, right in the middle of the picture there, one of the most imposing figures on the pitch, but she's not really got into the game, has she?
Yeah, I think she started the season really well. New player coming into the league, everybody was paying attention to her, and I think she was playing more of a central role. Since she's drifted out onto the left-hand side, she's maybe fell away a little bit. As I said in the first half, a lot of Rangers attacks are coming down the right-hand side, which means she's not really involved as much as she would probably like to be. You can see her there starting to drift across the pitch and make sure she gets herself involved.
And again, crossing the ball to where she should be, perhaps. You know what I would do? I would put the two of them up front.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Just stick them up the front.
The rotation is good, though. You can see that Glasgow City are struggling to pin down the Rangers players because they're able to move and they've got that freedom to roam. But yeah, certainly for Danielson, she'll be looking to get more involved in the play and have a foothold in this game.
Yeah, I don't do this technical malarkey. I just get them up front. This is a novelty. I want to pick your brain just as a player.
Yep.
This tendency now to pass the ball out from the goalkeeper taking the kick out. What do you make of that?
I think it's good if you've got the players to do it. I think certainly from a player's point of view, if you're just going to punt the ball forward and you've got nobody to attack it and make sure you regain possession. But certainly a long goal kick kind of just throws the ball up in the air for a 50-50 and a turnover of possession. So a lot of teams try to play out from the back so that they can retain the ball and build their attacks from there.
I just see teams putting themselves under pressure doing it more often than not.
Yeah, sometimes it can work out that way if you've not got a set plan of how you want to play, but the analysis comes with that, where if you're the opposing team, you look at how they build from the back and you set your stall up so there's triggers where as soon as the ball goes, the whole team shifts across and really puts players under pressure, and that's where the regains of possession can happen. So if you are building from the back, you need to be set and everybody needs to be on the same wavelength and know what their role is.
City, Grammageer kozen me aan de paard, die is getagen. En maar ik wil dat slag het als het je wel. Oh, nes ga je lukken, shit. Oh, a pass. Maar hier ik hou, en ik jaag maar te moelen, jongens. Hospital. Well, he took an age to decide this. We don't need VAR here, do we?
No, it's completely accidental. She's obviously just trying to get back goal side.
Well,
She's
let's
found
have
herself.
another look. Let's be...
Yeah, she's not even looking at the player. I think she realises that she's got the wrong side and she's just clipped her heels. But it's a fantastic ball through by Lauren Davidson to put Whelan through, and she's got a great chance to put her team in the lead here.
Lauren Davidson.
She's done really well so far this season with all the penalties that she's taken. I think she's converted more often than not when she steps up.
Don't interrupt you. We're going to have another look at that after this penalty is taken. Oh, Stein. Tall to City. Let's have another look at it, though. It was well executed, but I think we need to have another look at what happened there. Just a quick look. We'll have a look at the penalty first, though. Well executed by Lauren Davidson. Yeah,
it's great confidence from her. I don't think there was a doubt in her mind that she was going to miss that one. Steps up and calmly slots it past and puts her team in the lead. And fair play to Glasgow City because their work rate has been phenomenal this game.
Glasgow City, Rangers, Njoni. Picking a varach, Gerlichit, Minute, Irigol Shachat, Yevchin Koramikat, Asur. City Hoon, Rangers Njoni, Marahursmi. On the 3 minutes in Shachat Erlichit. Next check is to the Rangers Gulla. Rui game. Gullis Joy game. Martinez, if it was Martinez who was involved here. Now let's look at both players' legs. Yeah, I mean, Did she trip herself up?
I think it's minimal of touches. I think Martinez has probably just slightly grazed the side of Whelan, who's then had to trip herself.
But Martinez never objected.
No, I think she knew that she's probably slightly touched her, which has then caused the tangle of legs for Whelan to tangle herself up. She certainly never objected. It was, oh no, another chance. A bit shaky at the back there, isn't it?
You can't take your eye off the defences, can you? Medag Durashaw.
This is where we need Rangers to see their mentality. They obviously want to get themselves back in the game, but if they go too gung-ho, then Glasgow City may pick them off. So it's about balance. They want to get at Glasgow City and get a goal back, but at the same time they want to make sure they don't concede another.
Schaffen också Evers från Pennas. Keiratal Chias av också. Och Erimol av också. Nille som Royes I hast. Na Schlerich. Geri. Tarren here. Evil el de Vahau. Interesting challenge on Sam Kerr there on the edge of the box as well.
Yeah, I think this game's sparked into life now, hasn't it?
Så de strier från Enima. Kruaj. Det är liksom något shit. Lauren Davidson and Martinez again.
Yeah, I think she's maybe just stood on her toe, and when it's a cold night like it is, that's going to sting. But I'm sure she'll be able to get up and carry on. Lauren Davidson's just been a little bit late there. She's seen an opportunity.
A bad touch put her in trouble anyway.
Yeah, she's seen the opportunity to nick the ball, but Martinez has tried to recover and obviously took the knock.
No harm done. Dus een goeie Eileen Gleeson flunje van de henstoffen. I didn't remark on it, but it's worth mentioning. That's the first goal Rangers have conceded in the league this season.
Oh, really? And it came from a penalty as well.
Yeah.
It shows you how formidable they've been in the league so far. But as we say, they haven't came up against the joint top leaders in Glasgow City, who are now sitting comfortably top as it stands.
And they've only conceded 2.
Wow. Yeah,
that's how tight it is.
It shows they're very well organised at the back, and I think today's probably the first time they've maybe been tested a bit more than they probably have been in other games, and they are looking a little bit shaky when the ball does go back there. So I think that's gave Glasgow City confidence within themselves to get at them today.
Gibson kwijt goeie gekend in de parken. Dat is vuur in de lijn hier en heen. Rangers at the kind of shoe we could draste. Kwijt dat de City er al sheers de verhaal. Wow. Right at it all and echt. Chinchilla.
Looking like her hamstring, isn't it?
Here you go, yeah. Yeah, just where she's holding the back of her thigh there. There's a lot of activity on the bench down below us.
If it is a hamstring, they're not easy to run off, those ones, I'm afraid.
On a night like this.
She's looking in some discomfort there, isn't she?
Yeah, that's a nasty one. And Malky Thompson now having a word with some of his players to Sam Kerr. He's discussing a change, perhaps, or trying to get Sam Kerr a bit more forward. She's been appearing a bit more forward. She's passing a message on now to the rest of the team. Looks like there's a big discussion down below us here about who's coming on. There we are. Sophia Martin, we think, is coming on.
Yeah, she's got big shoes to fill in Chinchilla. She's a workhorse over there. So, but it's a lead that they need to protect.
That's not a good sign either.
No, you never want, as I say, you never want to see anyone go off injured, especially when they're bad ones. That'll be potentially a few weeks out for her, depending on how severe it is. hopefully it's nothing too bad and she can get back into the games as quickly as possible. But on a cold night like this, if you're not warmed up, your muscles are going to go, I'm afraid.
Feversen, Kuchen Skiplege. Chinchilla Maha Giselle Sophia Martin. Tidig in het Noordegietje geboren. Naar Ligareske. Line Janik City Schwelen Dolosteyr Danielson. This could have been a sore one here. It's that one there. Another tangle of legs.
Yeah.
You see there the touch Danielson's got. She's got the full bag of tricks. It's just maybe they haven't found the right place for her.
Yeah, she's got great quality. As I say, I think at the beginning of the season she was playing more central and having more effects on games. They obviously see that she's got the capabilities to play out wide and maybe cut in. But you can see there the recovery run from Glasgow City there to get back and help her teammate. Unfortunately, she's came off second best with that one, where she's maybe had to suffer a little setback in the injury, but hopefully she'll be able to get up. But yeah, she's certainly doing her work rate for the team, and she's making sure that she's getting in there and supporting her defence. But that just epitomises the whole Glasgow City team. Their work rate today has been phenomenal, and it's night and day from, as I say, a couple of weeks ago when they suffered that defeat to Hibs.
Big half hour coming. It's I know there's an unfortunate connection to make, but some people will know the unfortunate news you've had yourself over the weekend with Martin having to withdraw from the squad in the World Cup. Massive disappointment for both of you.
Yeah, it's huge. Obviously more so for him because he was the one that was due to be playing, but I'm actually due to fly out there tomorrow and watch the games. So it's really disappointing that he's obviously not going to be playing, but at the same time I'm going to go out and still support the Socceroos, and hopefully they can perform well against France. But yeah, as we say, completely disappointing. There's not really words to say how he's feeling right now, but I'm sure once this tournament's over, he'll bounce back.
Well, we wish him all the best, and please tell him that from us all.
Thank you very much.
Ynys Rangers the east achra ai Dolhinir the east Whelan. Hier Kapiti Bakar Reyes Fala. Danielson ai Mahraval Chanili Fen Kajoria. Davidson. Oh, through a It's just not happening for a couple of the Rangers players today, is it?
No, I think they're trying to force things now. Maybe with the fact that they're a goal down, they feel like they need to rush to get back into the game.
Still half an hour.
Yeah, they still need to move the ball and do what they've been doing, but with a little bit more intensity and a little bit more directness. As I say, you've got Sam Kerr, Chelsea Cornet, players like this that can run from deep and support the front players, so they need to get these players on the ball and making sure that things happen.
Gaan gewoon in Koenerstan. De City Prishiger vanaf. En de bal het al duur weggedrukt, joh. Bal het allemaal achtig. Chinchilla howl on the hen haast. Het door het er vanaf wie. En zie je. Die dag Kliasker voor de Willebal en draaste. Stel die dag wel letters een paragoon je harski. It's always like the pattern in the first half where Rangers are very bright, constructive opening, and then I think I said myself they ran out of ideas. It's always like the same thing's happened again.
Yeah, I think it is. They play really lovely football up until a point, and then it just all seems to break down for them. They just need to be a little bit more direct. As I say, I keep saying it, they just need to get at Glasgow City's backline, because I think the times that they do that and they go with pace and intensity, then they're certainly causing them problems. They've got the players that can do it, so they need to mix it up a little bit, whether that be take a strike from distance or take a player on. But as of now, Glasgow City are quite comfortable in their defence, and they're well organised, and they know how to deal with the Rangers' attack.
McCoy. Dal Shears Karan Superpil Kishid Ro Udista Silemi Norsen Karamek Jack Garagustay McCoy Dal Shears at the East Hanya Mekina die Pierre Rutikan nog gezien. Schaffen we de Kasenek City Gaarachkin Rangers Garuchal Magoors dacht ik dit een waar maar als je niet de kra oor is oor gaan je laat ieder geloof. A couple of the City players looking a bit heavy-legged now, Rachel, because the Rangers are moving them about, but they're not moving them in the right direction, really.
Yeah, they're putting in a power of work. They're trying to double up defensively as much as they can, because Rangers put a lot of players forward in wide areas and really overload the fullbacks. So the wingers have got a lot of work to do in terms of getting back and supporting them, but also making sure they don't leave Whelan isolated up top as well, so they need to support in both directions.
Fulton, Joval, see that really Cousset. I don't want to tempt fate with your player of the match, but Fulton's been an absolute dynamo in there, and nice passes.
I think Maddie Fulton's been having a great season so far, and obviously with Hayley Lauder having to go off as well, she's really took on that responsibility of being that focal point in the middle of the park and keeping the team together. She's technically very good as well, so she's going to be important for the rest of this game to make sure that Glasgow City can hopefully see it out for them.
Kavak Sibir City in Esht Galen Anal She's of Sakat. I don't know that Lee Gibson's had anything to do in the game apart from the odd kick out.
No, there was just that save at the very beginning from Rogan Hay, wasn't there?
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Rangers are closer to the Orstanesh. McCoy. She live the Ish. I say that she the Ish. And the pass. The Ish in call. Like a rest of the Susan Carl yet. Joval State. A Khadish. Yenya Orange. So the Shint. Italian of drugs. Sabita Lee Gibson. She's quite happy to gobble that kind of thing up all day, just to smother it, take her time.
Yeah, I think Midai's got better quality than that. She's obviously just rushed it and dragged her shot.
Frustration, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I think Rangers can, you know, as a player coming up against Rangers, that if you can keep yourself in the game and you can frustrate them, then they're going to start making mistakes, and that seems to be the case here. They need to knock that out their mentality and make sure they stick to what they do best and shift the ball and move it quickly.
Poor Danielson, Schleichman, Asligan. Oh, slew to Shears. Pennis the Rangers to do the shot. Well, Karstvuja Kutjach. Well, I don't. The referee had less doubt in his mind about this one, Rachel. Simple ball.
Yeah, her arms round her neck, isn't it? It's a rugby tackle to the ground.
Yeah.
I think Kayla McCoy has used her body really well there. She's been doing it all game from throw-ins, where she just plants her feet and rolls the defender, and Fredas hasn't been aware of that, and she's caused her team some trouble here.
That is. a seatbelt tackle in rugby. That's what they call it. Pennas the Rangers maha. Iraval, Midag. Val's in the end. Rangers Erash in the game shot. It doors to the doors. To Tessel Midag for the ball. Gesnok Ganilian. I guess I should lay 50 minutes at Rangers Erash is a game. Another well-executed penalty here.
Yeah, it's an excellent penalty. She sends Lee the wrong way and just slots it into the bottom corner. She's a very composed player, but I think for me, Glasgow City have been the leader of their own downfall there. Braidez has just been caught, and Kayla McCoy's done really well to roll her defender and win her team the foul.
50 minutes Rakal. So in the next for the horse, Koyoman. Hun. There's a full calling crop where a year Hashan. Ikidiri. There's a look type Rangers. Next is in Pio. We start for Tidach. Rutbeck Mau is start kind of Naruto of a copper guy. Is Radis of a Tidach Genero young Lerich. Not your Haley Lauder. Give me yours to nach Yisha. Ik heb me net even gemaakt, eentje nog maar.
Behind, stop! Shift on behind, Chelsea! Yeah, shift!
Ingelissen, die dat goeie conclusion. Die dat kent het ook goed. Die zag er niet zitten in een game. Reers maar de hachelen ze show. Game kutter we gaan voor Rangers en de Celtic. We zijn ik gooi koer en Fisker. Die andere die zag er niet. Ze zien. She have la ficht gaan wie is. Dus ik weet niet. De winning Celtic gedoe. Die kan jou niet een hart gedoe voor jongen. Dus je daar skippen. En dan ja, was de horsey game. Young, that all she is a broken till nars. Looks like Lizzie Arnott's coming on, we think, for Rangers, Rachel. Time for the, you can put it this way, the big guns, I suppose. the old, I shouldn't say the old hands, but...
Yeah, Lizzie's very experienced in this league, and she's definitely got goals in her and assists, so they'll be looking to her as an attacking threat for the remainder of this game. I'm not entirely sure who might be coming off. I don't know if they'll maybe bring Danielson off. Might be the natural.
Brogan Hay.
Oh, Brogan Hay.
That's, well, it's not a guess, it's what I'm being told.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Lizzie's good in the wing. She can go either way, right or left. She can use both feet. So it's something that Amy Muir will have to be aware of coming up against her for the last 20 minutes. Fresh legs of Lizzie Arnott coming on.
Yeah, not so sure I'd be taking Brogan Hay off, but there you go. It's not my call. Jongens, die shit. En we zijn stogen karstvoeien, wel. Stogen.
I don't know if they're maybe feeling that she's maybe had a tough week being away international and just trying to protect her a little bit. Because for me, I would have probably kept her on. She's been more influential in the game than maybe Danielson has.
Yeah, I agree.
Whether that means they're going to put Danielson over to the other side and Lizzie comes on the left, I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to wait and see. But they've certainly got options, Rangers.
Is Arnott. Nu is het verder. Kan Hannes nog de duwsje in de vaart. Kan een lijn vliet de Rangers voor Brogan Hay door hou. Vi kuhu itse det raakelijk Malky Thompson en Marag. Oh, Caramilla. Savelgille, ach, vlakke. Vlakke er de behou. Well, that was all perfectly nice until the flag went up.
Yeah, I mean, she almost redeemed herself there, but Lee Gibson didn't know that it was off.
No,
didn't know it was
exactly.
offside, so she's done really well there to make the save. You heard the shouts. He's wanting his players to keep moving at the set piece to disrupt the Glasgow City backline, and that's exactly what happened there.
That would be very tight for me looking along the line there. Maybe don't have the best view from here, but the flag on the far side was perfectly placed. That's Kozak, is it?
Yeah, I think it's just a mismatch in the middle of the park there with two bodies coming together. I think maybe had the wind knocked out of her.
But,
yeah, she's finding it difficult to get on the ball just in the nature of the game and how Glasgow City are playing with the work rate. But as you can see there,
no
it's
contest really.
Yeah. I'm sure she'll be able to get up. Maybe just the wind knocked out of her, and she'll be able to continue on in the game.
I have to say, over the piece, if you look at them objective, you know, the City side is lighter as a whole. It's probably smaller player on player. Rangers are physically quite a big side, quite a strong looking side.
Yeah, I think so. I think you can see from the size of the squads that maybe Glasgow City are a little bit lighter in terms of players available to them coming off the bench than what maybe Rangers are. But they're certainly not showing that in this game. I think their work rate is speaking volumes for their mentality coming into this game. They don't want people to be writing them off as the team that used to be at the top. They certainly want to continue to compete at the top end of the league and make sure that they're in the forefront of everybody's minds when it comes to the league title at the end of the season.
They're certainly worth their place where they are on their performance today.
Yeah, definitely. I think Aileen Gleeson was looking for a reaction off the back of the Hibs defeat. They've obviously had to wait a long time for this game to come around with the international break sandwiched in between. So whatever they've been working on over the break, it's certainly working for them.
I still get the feeling neither side is settling for the draw. It's still 15 minutes, but...
Yeah, I think the game has certainly sparked into life, and both teams are going at it now. Nobody's holding anything back, so I'm sure there's more to happen in this game.
Arnott. Sam Kerr. Stjachan de Volkse. Mal Hissi. Gekura mag ik het jere geschiet. Sjoele boeile die is naar de jevat is naar jevat laven noorker. San is een 3 aan is arst in de varka. Farag in de Rangers en het Hyundai. Goed vormen is welke ging op het tuil. Zo het kaboef de garage. Is een oorzaak in de middag. Arnott. Ketje boei. Snoorzaak al Shiers. Skagau. Arnott to the east. Is een Sue Helene Orange. Eigenlijk Malcolm Thompson is het gedaan. Hannah Davidson staat vast voetbek. Vriendenzag. Stilig hier in de stal te goed schrijven gewoon er koersen. Zit hier al toe in je nest. En jullie zijn niet zijn goed te scoren. Korga Vijanov. Prövig klar när det var till puff till Mach. Jullie een goal als je verroet hoe spelen en ziet dat goal misje. Zet je een mago injuur. Die weer is je getoond zijn horen en de skippen vlug. They're too deep. Far too deep, City. You can't let Rangers just come at you like this now for 15, 20 minutes.
They're getting pinned in, aren't they? They're struggling to get any sort of contact on the ball at all. But Rangers, as I say, they're getting their numbers forward and they're making it difficult for Glasgow City, who are, with the work rate that they've put in today, they're probably going to tire. As the game wears on, it's about digging deep and making sure that when they get the opportunity to make sure they get up the pitch.
McCoy, you should... Shit voor de Wunjigi Benas. Maar zo'n letoog is er shit. Kunnen horen daar met je in, zullen we? Jawel. Here's Jawel Ille. Gaan Davidson in de nulspe. Peter hier vanaf. En is Koeners dan jij keren poel door dat terug vast. Skis en is dan is het nu niet goed als poel hier. City. Oh, vlakke. Hij forste nog. I think Jenna Clark was quite fortunate in a way, or maybe she read it, but she was half a step away from losing that.
Yeah, I think in first glance she looked offside from here, but Jenna didn't know that, and she made the recovery run and got back well. But yeah, it's going to be close from now until the end of the game. It's going to be fine margins. One small error could really turn this game.
And I think tiredness is already beginning to play its part. City are beginning to look like they've almost overdone their effort. Arnott, Striach en Ukleva en Jerash go Lee Gibson. Is correct het hè? Lochgeroei. Stogen achter hele team de Rangers. Tiction Watson at all here. Looks like Watson's coming on, Rachel, for Rangers. Who would you take off?
Difficult to say for me. Danielson, she's been shifted over to the right-hand side.
Guess number 20. It is number 20.
Yeah, I mean, for me, she's been shifted onto the right-hand side and she's still not managed to get herself into the game.
She's even less in the game.
Yeah, which is probably disappointing from her because she'll be wanting to show her capabilities on the ball, but it's not been that game for her today. So it's the natural replacement, and Malky Thompson will be making sure that Emma Watson's well versed in what she has to do when she comes on to try and make sure that the team go on and get another goal.
Jenny Clark dat Jenny Keenje dit Shahid. Daar Ian of Haast hashin ik Shah minuten spekan vanaf Rakel. Wil tol eller ut in Vatsevi. Dennis College team Rangers scanning. Shot cut him to Rangers. Watson. Smashing cast. Danielson. Daar een inlegge gehakt in het visser gegaan. Roy second connection met alle hardest. A bit of a disconsolate figure, really looking. She's not really. She's better than that. And here's a change for City as well. Or no, that's somebody that's just had a water break.
Yeah, I think for Danielson, that final final involvement in the game pretty much summed up her day, didn't it? Just a little bit of frustration and conceding the free kick, and you can see the disappointment at being taken off. But yeah, for me, Rangers, they've got the quality on the bench, so when things aren't going well for one of the players, they can very quickly change it. And she's got about 10 minutes to make a difference for her team.
City are leaving Lizzie Arnott here. A lot of room to spare down here. It's worth rolling the dice if you're in a City jersey, I would say.
I think at the same time they need to be aware that it's still early days in the season. There's still a lot more games to be played before that final trophy lift at the end. So, she's very good at that, isn't she? She is very good at that, shooting from distance. She's scored a fair few in her time, both left foot and right foot. She had Essen scrambling there to make sure that it was going wide.
Victoria Essen Vikinja. Harahu Chien will Kirsty Howard to Chien. Uverach skis no Rutikin Evashar Skilal Shenani Jiffer then I hope the quick minute and run a jiddu. Genoemd te huur, zegt u, misschien hoe keren, maar gala zat le poing de moeder. Rangers komen le boeiltje, dat gaat lorak, die Sean is kara, maar dan we krijgen vaker kus, hier is het zo, oh, ga je met een kassen, ik McCoy. Zo'n oors en Jenna Klaas, slijke. Howard to Chien, agus out of it, Jake door the shot. McCoy. And she's been unlucky in a lot of ways. McCoy, you know, she's had her chances and she got the penalty.
Yeah, she's had her say in the game, hasn't she? Yep. She's won the penalty for her team. As I say, I've said it numerous times today, I would like to see her more involved in the box. She comes and drops short.
Was somebody closer to her?
Yeah, I mean, she comes and drops short and links the play really well. She's got that strength and ability to do that. But for me, your centre forward, number 9, unless you've got players going beyond you on a regular basis, you want her in the middle of the penalty box, getting on the end of crosses.
Nu you're right at that. 3 slew in a 3 minutes in a raka. Like it's still be shin heen be you shinam. This guy's not a hacker le chinchilla. Doen you must do it at borf the yeshal who's tostier fell off kukuremach. Oh, the shit. At last we got a handball and it's well away from the box.
Yeah, no VAR needed on that one.
No, it's just one of those things. There's no intention at all of playing the ball there. It's kicked up at it.
It's a great opportunity for Rangers to get the ball into a good area and get runners attacking it.
Cara Macarire back and you let it a bulletin you could show us. Jeff in the box. Oh, one and Harsing. Martinez, one and Harsing.
She's almost redeemed herself there, hasn't she? What a header that was. Very unlucky that it just wasn't 6 inches lower. But it's a fantastic delivery from Medag there, right into the middle of the penalty box, and she's timed it to perfection.
Year for a year to it. agus tíadach for a níra dúir chuidigin rúdarai ní dhéanamh ach go do bhfuil a hibbe tasan a chuna bhaitin. Rangers in este fechkin Caramella ach sin fatta a round. This just about uprooted the goal. It's one of these ones where you see it shaking, just keep an eye on it. Great ball.
Yeah, the ball's fizzed in and she's met it perfectly. She's just really unlucky there. Shame at both ends of the park. She's had a say in this game.
She just couldn't get it down.
She just couldn't get over the top of it. As I say, she's met it really well. I think at the highest point she possibly could have, and she's just unfortunate it's not 6 inches lower, because it looks like she would have gave her team the victory with that one.
Textbook header, apart from this, that little, as you say, 6 inches downwards would have
Glasgow City have been very fortunate there. I think they're digging in deep, aren't they, to try and hold on here.
Well, they've got 4 extra minutes to do it as well. Tough and all as it was. Gosh, what if? Beckent Prades. And you can't say she hasn't been involved in things since she came on.
I know, 45 minutes and she's been busy, hasn't she?
They banged their knees, really. Yeah,
it's just a collision there, isn't it?
Rangers has to Shiri. Clear again. Jachladi is shot at Ian Rangers in the wide. Oh! Howard Gakahin is the Kahavuil is the ball has at the Giri Hunahoshen.
It's really unlucky there, isn't it, for Rangers? They're fairly piling on the pressure now, go.
Suasla City Fiachanien er Falav, the Renner Falam Erik Howell. 4-1 Rangers G the Halorok Yechoramele. Oh, Stocker Shene. Well, Sherson Davinet Q. Well, how close Rangers have edged it now for sure, Rachel, with the header on the bar and this.
Yeah,
it's as well no defender touched that.
I know.
Look at this.
I think she did. Yeah, she did.
She did.
Came into a corner, didn't it?
Yeah, she did touch it. Yeah.
That's where they've earned their luck today, I feel, for Glasgow City.
Yeah.
The work that they've put into this game, I think they've earned themselves that little bit of luck just to keep this at 1-1.
Davina Jara Calcutta. Had ga gumala ma haast. Is na short differy en weer de verhaal. Stjage die is Janne Volkse. Is Falav. Is Blokkille. Oh, is nog die jager. Is een oorsene Machla. Oh.
They're throwing absolutely everything at the City backline and they're standing firm. You can see a couple of them bent over trying to catch their breath. They've got 2 more minutes in this game to hold out and try and earn themselves a point.
Just over a minute, and we'll come to your player of the match at the end of the game now, because we can't fit it in, to be honest. Let's see it out. City to lovely finished. City. Oh, Anil Nakasin loses Nakasin. Oh, Avala Chinikita. Rangers Amanoshan. Anil Korsi vi Auni, Anil Dunje Fashkara. City le Korama Hudestay, Stohan Gorama Yere. Atidach Chicken Fikiteraka, Livinich, Da Skipper Ka Hulakala Hake. Oh, lava shit. You know, Rachel, I think there was a hand there. I honestly, on real time, I thought there was a hand used there. Let's have a look, because that... Just have a look here, just there. Maybe not. Maybe being...
It's maybe the camera angle that's
if
made
we
it look
saw
like
it,
that.
if we could see it from the back at all.
I mean, I don't see Kirsty Howitt claiming for anything there, and she's right behind it. But yeah, she's really unlucky again, isn't she? Glasgow City have stood firm, but my goodness, it's been some game. I think for me, Maddie Fulton's probably been the one in Glasgow City that I would say has held the team together. She's been that anchor in midfield to protect the back line, but also to push the players on and play that high pressing game and the high energy. So for me, Maddie Fulton's probably going to be my player of the game.
There you go. You can make it formal now and announce it properly.
Yeah, she's been outstanding. I think she's worked tirelessly, as have all the players in Glasgow City. I think Rangers will be disappointed with their performance on whole, but to come away with a draw, they'll be happy with that. It's still early days in the season, so this is certainly not going to define who wins the league at the end of the day. But the confidence that Glasgow City will take from that is going to be massive going into the remaining games before the break.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Thank you very much for your contribution. Glasgow City Hoon, Rangers Hoon. Let's have a look at some of that. I mean, the last 5 minutes was absolutely breathless, but let's look at some of the other bits and pieces that we can find. The first penalty, we had a bit of doubt about it. It was like legs and legs and legs, wasn't it?
It's a tangle of legs, isn't it? I think she's ever so slightly clipped her, and then Whelan's maybe just tangled her legs. But what a ball that is from Lauren Davidson. She picks her out absolutely perfectly. And
it poses the question.
She then had the confidence to step up and slot it away, which she's done really well. I think you can see from the season that she's been having, she's brimming with confidence, and that resulted in a call-up for the international level as well.
City were good value for it then, but then Prades, who had come on, just lost it a little bit there. There was no need for that.
Yeah, I think it's just over keen, isn't it? She's been sucked in there by Kayla McCoy, who did that the whole game, by the way, for the throw-in. She was always rolling her. But Medag there with the finish, it was never in doubt. She's such a calm and composed player that's exactly who I would want to be stepping up, taking a penalty for my team if I was in there.
It's a couple of lovely penalties, wasn't it? And then with this, Martinez.
Yeah, she almost redeemed herself, didn't she, for giving away the penalty earlier in the game. I feel for her, I really do, because what a goal that would have been. The delivery was on point and she matched it with the header. It was just...
You just think every time you see it, you think it'll go in this time. It just seems to get closer all the time.
Yeah, but as I say, it was an exciting game.
Okay, other games. Let's see. Cymrachayat, Hibs, Shia, Glasgow women, Nyoni, Goshia, Celtic 3, Hearts, Nyoni, Hamilton, Ahoon, Partick Thistle, Coig, Dundee United, Ga, Spartans, Ahoon, Tupper Mahar, Cehid, Aberain, Ahoon, is a game of Akinen, Glasgow City, Ahoon, Rangers, Ahoon, is Shaw, Nglar, and Eshtaco, Rangers, is Glasgow City, Hoshach, Celtic, Bertinabar, Join a Hacher, Nastrea, Allah. Agus taing de Rachel, agus as yn dos dit gyman la dwrys eich nôl Harris, agus gybi Marsden and Asher Clwych Lewis gas. Thank you very much once again, Rachel. Great to have you.
Thank you.
Súlirars den going to come in at the BBC Alba game or Shen Rangers and the Celtic. Die Sarn is the Tina Shiala Fihit Koigor and Fisker, Hibs and the Hart, Darby Ille, Lana Sapet, Norsen a Keher. Oren Fisker, agus an oors na kente doors de Diish, Celtic and the United, Stjach gan een doelwach, gere Gerf La, Lana Sapad, Shen de Diish, ek Keher Oren Fisker. Wel, ha sinne dolagal anal, jyn va chdiacher y game va sio dydder son ach vat chajunnen ek gyda gala fichel.
Wel, dus gediede getoos is toosige Sjoik Parker Pietersil. Ach, upper game a vaking a Shaw, daskip a dol gachi le unfing. Fiach gebishop a dash a nachachking, had da game aking a hunishin, ma ha tapalische, sorry slan, agus, eicheva.